Hi, my name is Liana. I thought about getting all dolled up for my first video post, but hell, this is what I normally look like. So when I veg, this is me. Where should I begin? Well, I'm 48 and a half years old. I've been married to the same man for 30 years, come September, and I have 3 adult children, 2 daughters and a son. I work full-time in the corporate world as a project manager, though I use that term loosely because in truth, I do very little project management work and far more vague, obscure project work. Not terribly fulfilling, oftentimes demoralizing in so much as it's hard to fulfill requirements when they're vague and obscure. Anyway, I was first diagnosed with anxiety and chronic depression in 2001. Back then, yes, I'm saying back then in reference to 2001 because even as little as 12, 13 years ago, depression wasn't something you talked about openly. Back then, it came on very suddenly and hit very hard. I'm sure it had been building for years. The it I'm referring to is what today is called a major depressive episode. When it all came to a head, the catalyst. It was just after Christmas 2000, and I was the victim of a minor fender bender hit and run. I was hit, he ran. It didn't really seem like much at the time. New Year's came and went, and I seemed fine. My job at the time was very stressful, but I had been doing it for a couple of years, so no biggie there. In fact, it was only during therapy that I was asked if there was a catalyst, something that set me off. The hit and run was really the only thing that was different in my life. I don't know, one day in mid-January I started crying about something and I couldn't stop. I recently wrote for a blog that, though more finance-related, accepted me as a blogger specifically because I wasn't in finance. Among some 25 other entries, I wrote a couple of blog entries about depression. I stopped blogging for them because I realized that I could be doing a great deal more good if I blogged about one of the biggest aspects of my life, my depression and anxiety. If I can reach even a few people like me who live with and manage depression by sharing my experiences, and by learning from theirs anyway, perhaps I can help. Also, my son deals with anxiety and panic disorder and depression, and this is where the heredity component of mental illness kicks in, for which I've suffered guilt and misguided overcompensation of affection. While only diagnosed in 2001, in truth, I've battled and/or managed depression and anxiety since childhood. Though they didn't know what it was back then, oh so long ago. In any case, depression has impacted my life from childhood through adolescence, becoming a wife and a mother, as well as holding down a full-time job and writing on the side. I have had varied treatments for depression, including hypnosis, when they hadn't a clue what was wrong with me, medication support groups, going off my medication, psychotherapy, CBT, and so on. In a nutshell, this is me. My name is Liana, and I suffer from depression.